Oh, hey, what do you know, folks? Welcome back to another episode of the Roll for Dex podcast. And I know we're a couple days late, but we did, in fact, record again.
We can
And
wholeheartedly blame this one on technology.
technology seems to hate us over
Every now and then.
over and over. And today was no other exception when I got the text that the podcast had only recorded my voice. Now, I could upload it.
We absolutely could, but
Now,
a
if you want to hear
one-sided
me talking to myself,
a one-sided
very
conversation.
one-sided. I don't talk back. It's just me talking.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
It's
so
just this weird, disconnected conversation that you have to kind of fill in the pieces, but you know mostly what's going on.
but yeah, so here we are, a couple days late, but with you guys will never see that episode. We'll never see the light of day. But screw it. I don't care. We've got a whole new list of topics today, and it's going to be a great time, so let's dive right into it. Welcome back to the Roll for Dex podcast. Again, my name is Connor.
My name is Ian.
And today we're going to talk about how much Dragons Dogma 2 sucks.
What a
flop.
So here's kind of the thing about it for me. And
Do you play it?
I don't. I have not purchased it. I
refuse to give them money.
I have only seen what I've seen from the internet and people that I know have it and have played it, and I've gotten, notes from them. But to be fair, this is a game that I don't know how many people knew were coming out. I know that I wasn't aware that it was coming out, but it seemed to be a pretty
I had no idea until Nolan was like hype about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Like all about it. And sure, maybe for those in that circle, it looked like a great game, but from what I've seen and from what I've read, it is a really bad PC port.
Yeah, I've heard nobody's getting above like 30 frames, like 60 frames max.
Some people can't,
and they've got
some people can't even
computer.
get into the game. Like some people can't even get into the game,
which is crazy in and of itself. But not only that, it's a single player game. No harm in that. Love a single player game. But if you're gonna put fucking microtransactions in a single player game, you're a trash company. You're charging $70 for the base version of the game, and then charging people if they want to remake their character. You can't delete your save.
Yeah, no, you get one save file. That's it.
Like you can't delete it. It doesn't let you delete it. That's the craziest part about it.
Yeah, like once you start, you're locked into whatever happens in that save.
Like it's crazy. Like who?
What do you do if that save gets corrupted?
You stop playing. You wasted $70. Like, good luck.
That's
GG's, idiot.
That is such a recipe for disaster formula. That's so bad.
I don't know what they were thinking when who was in this meeting? Who was like, I think.
Who made it, by the way?
Capcom, isn't it?
Let me look. Let me just confirm that before we throw Capcom under the bus.
Yeah, I'm going to shame Capcom in a second.
It was Capcom.
Yeah, see, I'm right. I know my things. Capcom, what the fuck? Who was in this meeting?
Did it. Well, no, but that's why they did it. They have not been I love old Capcom games, but Capcom has not been a prevalent gaming company since the fucking late 90s, early 2000s.
But why tarnish your somewhat could have been good game with even more crap?
Because I'm sure they were probably like, hey, this game is going to make us a bunch of money. People aren't going to care about these things like they ended up caring about them. And then we're going to have all this excess profit. We'll be able to come out of a hole and make good games again.
See, but I just don't think there was any logic behind it.
Yeah.
I think this was a dumb decision, and I wholeheartedly will not give Capcom any of my money, let alone $70 for a base version of a game.
Which is, It's just so asinine to me. The fact that it's
I'm not getting a
$70.
$70 product.
No, and I get it. They're not the same game. They are not the same game. I'm not saying they're the same game, but you take a game like Baldur's Gate and you take a game like Dragon's Dogma. They're both high fantasy games. Granted, one's single player exclusively, one's a multiplayer game.
See,
But
I think you
with
can
Baldur's
compare
Gate,
this only because look at it. The quality, the bang for your buck, right?
oh yeah,
And I think this is where you're going with this. The bang for your buck, I got every single penny worth out of Baldur's Gate 3.
oh absolutely. If you want to go into a Baldur's Gate 3 and make 30 save files, each with a different character, you can do that. and and that seems like such in today's day and age, such a kind of very low bar. But apparently that bar has to still be set pretty low because of what is still coming out to the public.
People are trying to jump over the bar, but they're not. There's no bar. Like,
There is no bar.
they're running on a soccer field, not on a track. Like,
They think they're playing the right sport, but they're really not.
they're playing hockey on a football field.
Yeah.
Like,
It-
with skates on.
which granted is impressive in and of itself, but like
With skates
it's not
on,
how.
dude.
Yeah, it's not how you become successful. But
Horrible. Speaking of horrible, another horrible ass company that is just absolutely ripping me to shreds right now. Rockstar Games.
yep,
What are we doing? What are we doing? GTA 6 is getting delayed. It's coming.
GTA
I'm
6
sure they're going to throw out another official announcement soon saying, yep, screw you guys. We're going to 2026.
yeah,
And this is
But-
all over. I read. Now, fact check me if you want. Sure. If this is wrong, so be it. GTA 6 is getting delayed because Rockstar Games wants their employees to return to the office, and they just don't want to. They're game developers. Who cares? Let them work from Tahiti. Let them work from home. Like, I don't care. They're doing their job. Does it matter where you are?
no,
And
no.
you, as somebody who works remotely,
Yeah, no, no. The one thing that I think people have proven is that we can be just as effective working from home as we can in a corporate office.
they don't like that.
Oh, sure, absolutely, I get it. Why are you gonna have a $40,000 security deposit on a nice shiny office if no one's gonna be there? I understand that. To me, there's no official word yet that I can find about why it's delayed, but the game has been in development for who knows
A
how many
decade, at least
yeah.
a decade.
Yeah.
And we're dropping the ball right after we are announcing the release.
Yeah, like whether you're like whether it's because people are working from home, whether it's because any number of insert problem here. I get it. You want the game to be perfect when it comes out, and so do the fans. But the
There's
game
gonna be
has been
there's gonna be glitches. There's gonna be fucking bugs. It's a
Sure.
giant game.
sure. It's been in development for, like you said, at least a decade. You and I were still in high school when this game was probably started being developed.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no reason for this game to be delayed. Because you're still a year out from when you said it was going to be released. So what is happening that you can't utilize a year to get it back on track?
And that's the craziest thing. There's got to be something going on, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's got to be something. I don't know. Games are dying, and
Well-
I don't like it.
And Rockstar usually doesn't misstep, which is why this is weird that this is happening. Right? Sure, do they come out with games all the time? No, but do they go through issues where their games fail to come out? No, If their games don't come out, it's because they're killing it on the floor. They haven't made a bully game in probably 15, 17 years.
Where is their funding coming from?
I don't
How
actually
are they
know.
still alive?
It's still all from GTA 5 and Red Dead 2. It's still they're still working on those profits.
If that's true, that's crazy.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised.
That's insane. Like, what other what other games do they have? Like, where's their revenue, my guy?
Well, but think about it. When you don't have a game come out for 10, 12, 15 years, people are still buying GTA 5. You know,
I mean, I bought it like 3 or 4 times.
Sure, and it sounds kind of funny to say that people are still buying a game that came out so long ago, but when you haven't put out another GTA game and someone wants to play GTA for the first time, that's the most recent title.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I don't know, man. I just think like that's crazy. I feel like they've got to be getting something from somewhere. They got to be getting something on the side.
Who knows?
They're involved in illicit activities. Watch. You watch. Robert Kraft is going to come out of Rockstar.
So last year, let me see if I can find this. I'm trying to find out. Rockstar's annual revenue is $63 million.
But like, from where?
What?
You know what I mean, man? Like,
from
fucking
anymore?
Where? Huh?
I said, what? You think people don't just like buy those games anymore? I mean, you can still buy shark cards in GTA. I'm sure that like that's a large portion of where their money is coming from.
Dude, it's just crazy. People like. I mean, I'm not one to say anything. I spend so much money on video games.
Yeah.
I spend so much money on video games. I'd have so much more money than I have right now if I wasn't a gamer. I mean, case in point, microphone, PC, 3 monitors.
Oh, but
6 consoles.
But hey, you know, I don't know. It's all an investment. You know what I mean? Sooner or later, the next like all-time great game is going to come out and you're going to be ultra prepared for it.
Hey man, I'm just chilling. I can't spend any more money on video games.
But like perfect like case of the matter is you, Connor, someone who does not typically play sports games, has been playing the shit out of MLB The Show recently.
And
that
is it horrible, but like it's also like great at the same time.
The ultimate indication of just
how bad gaming is. Yeah.
Currently. I mean, it's funny because it's kind of all like hills and valleys, right? Because 8 months ago or whenever Baldur's Gate came out, you and I both very publicly on this podcast were like, gaming is in such a great spot. There are so many great games coming out because Starfield was coming out, Baldur's Gate was coming out. We were like, this is great.
Game sucks.
We're finally
not Baldur's Gate.
What, Starfield?
I don't know. Does that suck too?
I don't think it sucks, but it died out a lot quicker than I think Bethesda planned for. And granted,
nobody has the fucking attention span for these games anymore.
They will if Elder Scrolls 6 comes out.
But again, that's another one that's going to be like, oh, here you go for the next 15 years.
Yeah. I hope you enjoy it because it's not changing for any number of decades.
Skyrim is easily one of the greatest games of all time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. When it came out, it was so far ahead of its time. I remember watching the trailer for that game and being like, holy shit. They're like
just running through the Tobuscus trailer in my mind right now.
Oh, Tobuscus. Oh, Tobuscus. But like,
sneak stab a big spider.
But like one thing that we've been seeing a lot more recently, I feel like, is a lot more video game titles being made into movies, television shows,
Good
to
segue.
varying levels of success. You know what I mean? Like we had The Last of Us, which was great. Last of Us, phenomenal TV show.
Speaking of The Last of Us, so they're
Yeah.
filming the second one right now.
Yeah.
And I heard the funniest thing. And
I think I know where you're going with this.
it's literally because there's reports that Pedro Pascal has already finished shooting and he hasn't been there for very long. And I'm like, everyone's like up in arms. They're like, what? I'm like, you never played the game.
You don't understand.
You don't know what that means.
Heart ripped out.
Because when that happens, man, in the game, I know, like, I don't want to say it, but like,
No.
I'm not going to say it, but I cried in the game.
Oh yeah, no, it's such a now.
In-game.
Granted, I'm one of the people that says the first game was better than the second game, but that moment in the second game is.
I think the second game is more emotional than the first game.
Okay. But gameplay in the first is better than gameplay in the second.
I agree. I agree, but I think that's true of any two-title game. If you look,
I feel like what they did,
if you look at multi-title games, so you specifically, I'm looking at multiplayer or single-player games that have like sequels.
Last of Us type thing.
So you see specifically in like Assassin's Creed, from Assassin's Creed 1 to 2, there was a huge shift in dynamics on how the game played. Now, when Assassin's Creed 2 first came out, I hated it. I hated the mechanics.
I don't remember that. Oh, yes.
Hated the mechanics because it was different than the first one, and I really liked the first game, and I had to relearn a whole new thing. Yeah. But after playing that and how it's developed, you look at it again as they crossed over into Assassin's Creed Origins, the playstyle changed again, and it was now different again. So, I mean, The Last of Us really kind of did that as well. I think that's what happened is people didn't like the gameplay of the second one because there wasn't a third or a fourth one to follow up on that play style.
Which is now coming out. So it'll be interesting to see kind of what ends up happening there.
Oh, but yeah. So, I mean...
Sorry, I feel like I threw you off there.
We did. We like got thrown off because we started talking about Pedro and The Last of Us.
God.
And daddy.
That show's gonna be so
good. Other games that would be great as movies.
Movies or television, or do we just want to stick to the movie field?
Movies or television, I'd say.
Okay.
I mean, realistically, anything on like the TV, like TV shows. It ends up being like 8 episodes of 30 minutes, and it's just not worth it. I'd rather get a cinematic masterpiece.
But so yes, I have another thing. Yes, a game that I think would translate well to movie or television, I think personally, would be the Gears of War franchise specifically, and I'll clarify this: Gears of War 1, 2, and 3. I think you ignore everything after the third game.
Well, everything after the third game is garbage, anyways.
Well, yeah. But
and if you refute that, you're
no,
trash.
No. Yeah.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm saying the listeners.
Okay, gotcha.
If you refute that fact,
it's trash.
You're trash.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, but
love you. But no, I think if you were to do it ultra realistic, ultra gory, like do it on like an HBO Max or something, like where you don't really have the restriction.
you'd need to have like a Game of Thrones type shit.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest with Gears of War.
But I think something like that could translate really well into that type of medium. What do you think?
I think that's a great series. This one has already a movie, but I think it could be done completely better.
I think I know what you're gonna say.
It's World of Warcraft.
Oh, that's not where I thought you were going. Okay, gotcha.
World of Warcraft, and I don't dislike the movie.
Would you keep it a movie or would you change it to a TV format?
You just go with a movie. You do a
Okay.
movie per expansion.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
And you actually follow some of the events that you went through in the game. Like, because that was the biggest kind of thing, was in the movie, it focused a lot on, like, some of the lore, like, but it changed things, and things didn't really
wasn't that
play out.
faithful.
Yeah, like, I'd rather see, like, you taking some crazy stuff from each expansion, throwing it in chronological order, and then giving us a good quality movie per expansion. I think that would be great.
I think that'd be really good because, you know, we've seen a lot of like the Tolkien Lord of the Rings stuff kind of come back into prevalence recently. So I think like that ultra high fantasy type world, I think, would play well these days. Here's kind of, it seems kind of obvious, I feel like, and it seems kind of cliche, but I want to get your thoughts on this. What if they made the original Modern Warfares 1, 2, and 3 into movies? No, you don't think?
No, because I don't think you need to. I think those can be left alone because they played so well as a story that you were a part of in the game. Yeah. If you bring that to a bigger screen, I think it's going to lose everything. You're not going to gain more fans from it. And that's why they haven't done it.
And like, plus, we do have a lot of like ultra like modern age military.
We don't need another shooter, especially in this climate. It probably wouldn't do so well.
That's fair. Okay. Yeah. See, this is why I bring it up, because I enjoy your takes.
But on the other side of that, I think Helldivers 2, if you give that game a movie, just because there's no lore really in that game.
No, yeah.
So I mean, if
you have to go back to the first one, but the first one was bad.
But like, if you just make a movie and reference like some of the stuff and like just Starship Troopers it.
Well, that's the great part about the game.
The game is essentially Starship Troopers on steroids.
But the best part about it is that it's aware of that. If you watch the opening cinematic, it doesn't take itself seriously. It's so great. Have you seen what the devs have been like saying publicly? Like how much have you followed this game?
Not really too much, because I have no interest in it.
Which is fair. This development team is probably, they have some of my favorite PR moments this year in gaming. Basically, they put out a balancing patch, I think a couple weeks ago or last month, and people went crazy because they were like, this game just got too hard. Like you balanced it way too hard in the other direction. And the lead developer publicly on Twitter came out and said, more or less, get good.
Yeah, I saw that. That's awesome. I mean,
it's
true. It's the whole purpose of the game is push and pull.
Yeah.
Like if there wasn't like an epic offense mounted by the CPU NPCs, like,
then why are we playing?
To reset you? Like, what are you trying to liberate? Like,
no, exactly. That game. So Connor and I have very differing opinions on the game because it's not quite in his realm of type of game that he typically plays. Whereas for me,
it's you just jump down, you kill a bunch of things, and you get out. Like, I mean, as fun as mindless that sounds, like, I need objectives. I need like.
Well, so they do have a lot of those objective based missions now, which are good. But the essence of it, even with those objectives, are still get down there, kill a bunch of things, leave.
I want it to come. Like, I would love for this to come out about Helldivers. Now, there's really no lore, and people have just been making up their own lore. And especially with Joel, the dev that's in the game, balancing things in real time.
Yep.
I would love to have like a Matrix moment with the game And
where the game becomes sentient.
No. Almost like everybody thinks they're fighting the bugs, right? Or whatever it is. But you're really fighting against other players.
But their player models
just
look
camoed
like bugs.
as bugs.
That would be fucking hilarious.
But you don't say anything. You don't say anything, and see how long it takes people to be like, this doesn't seem right. These bugs are acting weird. Like,
that's hilarious. That's really fucking
why
funny.
am I dying so quick? This guy's shooting above my head. Like,
the one
but
thing
everybody sees the bugs.
Is
what I'm saying. Is like, no matter what, everybody sees the bugs.
Sees bugs. Yeah. Except for the devs who can probably see what's actually happening.
I mean, I just think that would be kind of a funny April Fool's joke, maybe.
Oh yeah, and just so here's actually the thing. I'm glad that you brought up Helldivers because I've played it a good amount recently, and one thing that I've noticed while playing it is that it is the perfect mindless kind of shoot 'em up that I think if you slapped a Star Wars skin on would be so unbelievably fun. Picture that. It's
all right. I'd probably play that if you could like use Jedi and
like maybe
like
not,
you'd have to go all out. But I like that. It'd be like you could choose your era.
Yeah. And like even if you wanted to keep it in one, like maybe you just do Clone Wars and you are just a bunch of clones and you are going to each planet trying to liberate it from the Separatists. And then you have that active battle map of the Separatists pushing back into the inner core.
I mean, that's essentially Battlefront 2, but on steroids.
Sure, but I think that
so
you
much
need
better.
a good but I think that you need a good on steroid Star Wars game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I need another like crazy things happen, like Star Killer and Force Unleashed. Like all that stuff was crazy.
I just need Sam Witwer to be given a live action face role.
He'll be there. Imagine he's not gonna make an appearance in canon. Like not in current. I think he shows up in Acolyte. What if he's the fucking Sith in Acolyte?
Have you seen the theories about Plo Koon?
I've seen that too. I really hope we don't get any sort of cameos.
I'd love for it to not be a cameo. I would.
I don't want any sort of relation to the Republic.
Ooh, here's a thought. Sam's only getting older. Sam's a voice actor. Ian McDermott's also only getting older. What if you have Sam take over as live action Palpatine when Ian McDermott is no longer able to do it?
Interesting thought.
Because he's a voice actor.
Character should die.
Oh, sure. Sure. But like going back to like what you and I have talked about with like a Palpatine origin story type show.
But you'd need a young Palpatine.
It depends on how young he was when you want to talk about him.
I guess that's true. But
no. But like, I get what you're saying. Like if you do an origin story, you're gonna want to hit it from like teenage years on. See him.
I want to see the training. Yeah. I want to see the succumb to the dark side, like the craziness.
No, and that makes sense. But if you're not gonna give him Starkiller, that's
give him Maul.
But I like what they did.
He could play old Maul.
Oh, sure. But I like what they did in Solo. Now, granted, I don't think Solo's a good movie, but I like what they did in Solo where they did Ray Park's face, Sam's voice.
Yeah.
I think that's because Ray Park is the one who he did all the choreography, did all the moves, everything from all. So I think if you do that, I think you have to keep that the same, unfortunately. But I think if you don't give him Starkiller, I think you have to find a way to get him into the universe in a live action sense, even if it's just an X-wing pilot that you name Porkins and Red 6, and you blow him up. Like
it would be sick if he was the Sith in Acolyte.
That would be really sick. Actually, I didn't think about that.
That would be nuts.
What
Imagine
what if he was Revan?
I don't know about that. I don't think Revan's gonna show up. If
Oh
I'm
no
being honest,
no.
But
Like
if they
just
do
kind
a
of
Revan story, maybe. I'd love to see a Revan story, man. I want to see some dark side shit.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and just being able
give
to
me some give me some down bad gritty Sons of Anarchy type Sith movie or show.
Oh yeah. I feel like we haven't gotten a really gritty Star Wars story in a while, and genuinely, I think something that would work very well is a Order 66 type show from the perspective of the Jedi and Anakin hunting them down. Or Vader hunting them down, and you make it as brutal as you fucking need. Something like that.
I don't know if I'd like that.
Oh, I'd love it. I'd love it.
I don't know. Jedi Survivor would be good as a movie.
Cameron Monaghan is the right age. Like, he could do it.
He's going to make a live action appearance at some point.
Oh yeah, no,
he has to. I think that's a need. That's losing out on a lot of potential fans for the franchise if you don't give him a live action appearance.
Yeah, that character is getting too much backstory, too much lore to not include him in the larger story in the TV universe.
Yeah, he's got to be somewhere. He is some. I wonder if he's going to show up in the Ahsoka movie.
Ooh,
and he's gonna die to Thrawn.
So
that would get rid of him.
Oh, so you think that he made it through the Empire, more or less? Like, okay.
I think that would be interesting.
That would be a really interesting way to bring that character in and not have him be around.
Because he's obviously on his own adventure throughout the Empire.
Yeah.
Which makes sense as to why you don't see him. He's on his own thing. After the Empire falls, I'm sure he's probably working as a scrapper or something.
Yeah, or sticking around. Oh, that could be really interesting, actually.
Yeah, so you that's the biggest thing is now you've got the 3 Jedi. Unfortunately, it's 3 Jedi. Over in the new universe. Sabine still shouldn't use the Force, and you're stupid if you think that she should. I was talking about this with my barber the other day. I want you to know.
Were you?
Yeah, I was, and he agrees with me.
That's wild.
Because it makes it less special that anybody can do it with enough hard work and determination. It's a thing. Cool.
They actually
be Force sensitive, but you can't punch me from 20 feet away unless you have enough midichlorians.
So they actually talk about that in the Bad Batch a little bit.
What?
Basically, what you just said is they retconned what they did in Ahsoka, and by basically saying anyone can do it. So what Bad Batch has now put in lore and in canon is that everyone has midichlorians. Sure, everyone has them, but the only people that can access those abilities are those that have elevated and higher midichlorian counts.
Sabine's still a bitch.
That's wild. You need to watch
her, dude.
No. Wait, but real talk though, you need to catch up on the Bad Batch because season 3 has been awesome.
Okay, I will. I promise.
Thank you. It's been so good.
But yeah, Cal Kestis has got to be chilling on a planet somewhere. I think with the 3 of them over in the other universe, we've got Thrawn coming back to our universe.
Actually, hold on, wait. Think about that from a team-up sense.
Yeah.
Cal Kestis and Ezra on a team together is kind of a little busted.
Kind of broken, yeah. But I think if anything, Hera would know who he is.
Who, Cal?
Yeah.
Oh, true. Okay.
And
Yeah.
I think that would be from like his companions. Like I'm sure she knows his companions. So I don't think she knows him directly.
But like they're in the same circle at this point.
Like his former team may have connections to the rebellion.
Which would make
like
a lot
I don't
of sense.
remember all their names or anything right now, but
Same.
like I think that with the line of work that they were kind of in, they would know of the obviously of the resistance and all of that. Yeah. So when Thrawn shows up without Ahsoka, Ezra, Sabine, I think that prompts the rebellion / New Republic, whatever it is, that's going to prompt them to want to find people to take on the Empire or Thrawn. And I think that's where Cal Kestis comes in.
And then you kill him off.
And then you kill him off in the movie. That way it's no harm, no foul, but you got to do it in the right way. You got to make it kind of broken. You got to let him team up with the good guys. So I think we see the three amigos go through. They're going to fight Baylan Skull and Shin Hati. No, Shin went back with Thrawn.
No. Shin and Baylan are still on the planet with Ahsoka and Sabine.
Okay, so she did stay.
Yeah. Shin is now with the Raider camp, and Baylan is off looking at that light in the distance on the hand of the father statue.
So I think they're gonna have some epic battles. Both of those guys are gonna need to die, unfortunately. And then
unless
I think the three amigos, they come back, and that's when they're able to team up with Cal. They're gonna come back and almost instantly, kind of after a little bit of fighting, getting to know each other a little bit, get them invested, and then Cal's gonna die. Thrawn's gonna kill him.
But knowing Cal, I think it'll probably be one of those. He realizes that he's older. He'll probably give himself up to let like an Ezra or whoever make it to safety, in my opinion.
Yeah,
but also, who knows?
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
I
want all the Star Wars content and none of the
I want all the good Star Wars content. I really hope Acolyte is good. Bad Batch Season 3 has been the same quality as Clone Wars Season 7.
I mean, that's fair, and I'm gonna have to watch it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to watch it.
And like it's gonna be a push because Season 1 and Season 2 they have a lot of filler. Season 3 I think is 7 or 8 episodes now, and there has not been a single goddamn episode of filler yet. Each episode has moved the story along.
All right. Well, again, I'm gonna check that out. A lot of Star Wars content's coming out, and I'm excited. I just don't want to wait. So, do you got anything else?
No, that I believe is it for me.
All righty. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of the Roll for Dex podcast. Of course, my name is Connor.
My name is Ian.
And
I can smell you.